I wish the long ship Argo had never passed that perilous channel between the Symplegades. I wish the pines that made her mast and her oars still waved in the wind on Mount Pelion. The grey fishhawks still nested in them. The great adventurers had never voyaged into the Asian sunrise to the shores of morning for the golden fleece. For then, my mistress Medea would never have seen Jason, nor loved and saved him, nor cut herself off from home to come with him into this country of the smiling, chattering Greeks and the roofs of Corinth, over which I see evil hang like a cloud. But she is not meek, but fierce, and the daughter of a king. Yet at first all went well. The folk of Corinth were kind to her. They were proud of her beauty, and Jason loved her. Happy is the house where the man and the woman love and are faithful. Now all is changed. All is black hatred. For Jason has turned from her. He calls the old bond a barbarian mating, not a Greek marriage. He's cast her off and wedded the yellow-haired child of Creon, the ruler here. He wants worldly advantage, fine friends, and a high place in Corinth. And for these, he's willing to cast Medea like a harlot and betray the children that she's borne him. He is not wise, I think. But Medea lies in the house, broken with pain and rage. She will neither eat nor drink except her own tears. She turns her face toward the earth, remembering her father's house and her native land, which she abandoned for love of this man who now despises her. And if I try to speak comfort to her, she only stares at me. Great eyes like stones. She's like a stone on the shore or a wave of the sea. And I think she hates even her children. She's learning what it is to be a foreigner, cast out alone and despised. She will never learn to be humble. She will never learn to drink insult like harmless water. Oh, I'm in terror of her. Whether she'll thread a knife through her own heart, or whether she'll hunt the bridegroom and his new bride, or what more dreadful evil stalks through the forest of her dark mind. I know that Jason would have been wiser to tempt a lioness or naked-handed steal the whelps of a tiger. Here come the happy children. Little they know of their mother's grief.
Is she still in that deep despair?
You're a lucky old watchdog of Jason's boys. You do not see her. This evil is not declining. It is just at dawn. I dread the lion-eyed glare of its noon.
She's so wrought. Neither you nor Medea knows the latest and worst.
What? What?
Oh, I shouldn't have spoken. No,
Tell me the truth, old man. You and I are two slaves. We can trust each other.
I heard them saying, when we walked beside the holy fountain, Pyrene, where the old men sit in the sun on the stone benches, they were saying that Creon, the lord of this land, intends to drive out Medea and the children with her, these innocent boys, out of this house and out of Corinth. They must wander the wild world, homeless and helpless.
No, I don't believe it. No, Jason may hate the mother, but he would hardly let his sons be cast out. Listen, I hear her voice. Take the children away from her. Keep them away from her. Take them to the other door, quickly.
Death is my wish. For myself, for my enemies, my children.
This is my terror to hear, always harking back to the children like a fierce hound at fault. Oh, unhappy one, they're not to blame.
If any God hears me, let me die.
Oh, it's a bad thing to be born of high race and brought up willful and powerful in a great house, unruled and ruling many. But then, if misfortune comes, it is unendurable. I say that poor people are happier. Little commoners and humble people, the poor in spirit, they can lie low under the wind and live. while the tall oaks and cloud-raking mountain pines go mad in the storm, writhe, groan, and crash. This is the wild and terrible justice of God. It brings on great persons, the great disasters. What do you want?
I hear her crying again. It is dreadful.
Her lamentation. She is beautiful and deep in grief. We couldn't help coming.
We are friends of this house, and its trouble hurts us.
You're right, friends. It's not a home. It is broken.
Old and honored servant of a great house. Do you think it is wise to leave your lady alone in there, building that terrible acropolis of deadly thoughts? We Greeks believe that solitude is very dangerous. Great passions grow into monsters in the dark of the mind. But if you share them with loving friends, they remain human. They can be endured. She has lived among us. We have learned to love her. We'd gladly tell her so. It might comfort her spirit.
You think so? She wouldn't listen. Oh, she's coming. Speak carefully to her. Make your words a soft music. Oh, my dear, my poor child.
They say she is dangerous. Look at her eyes.
She is a witch, but not evil. She can make old men young again. All the people of her country are witches. They know about drugs and magic. They are savages, but they have a wild wisdom.
Oh, look at the light of the sun this last time. I wish from that blue sky the white wolf of lightning would leap and burst my skull and my brain, and like a burning babe cling to these breasts. Someone is here? I did not know I had visitors. Women of Corinth, if anything has been spoken too loudly here, consider that I believed I was alone, and I have some provocation. You've come, let me suppose, with love and sympathy, to peer at my sorrow. I understand well enough that nothing is ever private in a Greek city. Whoever withholds anything is thought sullen or proud, undemocratic, I think you call it. This is not always just, but we know that justice, at least on earth, is a name, not a fact. And as for me, I wish to avoid any appearance of being proud. Of what? Of affliction? I will show you my naked heart. You know that my Lord Jason has left me and made a second marriage with a bright-haired child of wealth and power. I, too, was a child of power, but not in this country, and I spent my power for love of Jason. I poured it out before him like water. I made him drink it like wine. I gave him success and fame. I saved him his precious life, not once, many times. You may have heard what I did for him. I betrayed my father for him. I killed my brother to save him. I made my own land to hate me forever. And I fled west with Jason in the Greek ship, under the thunder of sail, weeping and laughing. That huge journey through the Black Sea and the Bosporus, where the rocks clang together, and through the Sea of Marmara, and through the Hellespont, watched by the spearmen of wealthy Troy, and home to Greek water. His home, my exile, my endless exile. And here I've loved him and borne him sons. And this man has left me and taken Creon's daughter to enjoy her fortune and put aside her soft yellow hair and kiss her young mouth.
She is terrible. Stone with stone eyes.
She is pitiable. She is under great
I do not know what other women. I do not know how much a Greek woman will endure. The people of my race are somewhat rash and intemperate. As for me, I want simply to die. But Jason is not to smile at his bride over my grave, nor that great man Creon hang wreaths and make a feast day in Corinth. Oh, let the wreaths be bright, blinding fire, and the songs a high wailing, and the wine blood.
Oh, sorrow beware. It is dangerous to dream of wine. It is worse to speak of wailing or blood. For the images the mind makes find a way out. They work into life.
Let them work into life.
There are evils that cannot be cured by evil. Patience remains. And the gods watch all.
Let them watch my enemies go down in blood.
Dear, beware. Some great person is coming. It is Creon himself.
Creon is coming. He's dark with anger. Oh, my lady, my child, bend in this wind and not be broken.
You have admirers, I see. Medea, woman of the stone forehead and hate-filled eyes, I've made my decision. I've decided that you must leave this land at once and go into banishment, you with your children. I intend to remove a root of disturbance out of the soil of Corinth. I'm here to see to it I will not return home until it is done.
Banishment?
Exile, banishment. Go you may, Medea, but here you abide no more.
I with my children?
I will not take them away from you.
Because we have suffered evil, we are to suffer more evil. Death was my wish.
Huh? Words. You'll not be hindered. You can have death while there are ropes to hang by or waves to drown in. Only make haste and leave this land.
My children, my lord. My children, my children.
What are you muttering?
Nothing. I'm praying to my gods for wisdom. And you for mercy. You know, my lord, what exile means. To beg a bread crust and be derided, pelted with stones in the villages. The children, my lord, are Jason's children. Your chosen friend, I believe, and now even closer bound. And as for me, your servant, oh, master of Corinth, what have I done? Why must I be cast?
I will tell you frankly. Because you nourish rancorous ill will towards persons whom I intend to protect. I send you out before you've time to do harm here. And you are notorious for occult knowledge, sorcery, poisons, magic. Men say you can even sing down the moon from heaven. As to that, I know not. I know you are dangerous. You threaten my daughter. You have to go.
But I wish her well, my lord. I wish her all happiness. I hope that Jason may be as kind to her as to me.
That is your wish.
No, I misspoke. I thought of old days.
I acknowledge, Medea, you have some cause for grief. I all the more must guard against your dark wisdom and bitter heart.
You misjudge me cruelly. It is true I have some knowledge of drugs and medicines. If any person knows a little more than the common man, the people suspect him. But you are not a common man, Lord of Corinth. You will not fear knowledge.
No. Nor change my decision. I pity you, Medea, but you must go.
You pity me? You pity me? I will endure a dog's pity or a water-long toad's. May God who hears me, we shall see in the end who's to be pitied.
This is good. This is what I desire. Unmask the livid face of your hatred, and I see whom I deal with. Serpent and wolf. A wolf from Asia. I'd rather have you rage now than do harm later. Now, Medea, out of here, before my men drive you out.
A woman driven half mad with sorrow, laboring to save her little children. No wolf, my lord. The races of Asia are human, too, as the bright Greeks are. And we have children and love them as Greeks do. You have a daughter, sir. She's beautiful. If I were near her, I would soon love her.
You can speak sweetly enough. You can make honey in your mouth like a brown bee when it serves your turn.
Not honey. The truth.
Trust you or not, you are going out of this country, Medea. Make ready quickly. I have a guest in my house. I should return to him.
What guest? Oh, my lady, ask him who is the guest. If powerful and friendly, he might be a refuge to us in bitter exile.
I know that your will is granite, but even on the harsh face of a granite mountain, some flowers of mercy may grow in season. Have mercy on my little sons, Creon, though there is none for me.
How long, woman? This is decided, done, finished.
I am not a beggar. I will not trouble you. I shall not live long. Sire, grant me a few hours yet. One day to prepare in one little day. Before I go out of Corinth forever.
What? No. I told you the day is today, Medea. This day. And the hour is now.
There are no flowers on this mountain. Not one violet, not one anemone. Your face, my lord, is like flint. If I could find the right words, if some god would lend me a touch of eloquence, I'd show you my heart. I'd lift it out of my breast and turn it over in my hands. You'd see how pure it is of any harm or malice toward you or your household. I beseech you, Creon, by the soft yellow hair and the smooth, cool forehead and the white knees of that young girl who is now Jason's bride, lend me this inch of time. One day, half a day, for this one is now half gone, and I will go my sad course and vanish in the morning quietly as dew that drops on the stones at dawn and is dry at sunrise. You will never again be troubled by any word or act of mine. And this I pray you for your dear child's sake. Oh, Creon, what is half a day in all the rich years of Corinth?
I'm no tyrant. I have been merciful to my own hurt many times. Oh, even to myself, I seem foolish if I grant you this thing. No, Medea, I will not grant it. Well, we shall watch you as a hawk does a viper. What harm could she do in the tale of one day? A ruler ought to be ruthless, but I'm not. I'm a fool in my own eyes, whatever the world may think. Take it then. Make your preparations. But if tomorrow's sun shines on you here, Medea, you die. Enough words, thank me not. I want my hands washed of this business.
I will thank you, and the whole world will hear of it.
I have seen this man's arrogance. I watched and heard him. I am of Corinth, and I say that Corinth is not well ruled.
The city where even a woman, even a foreigner, suffers unjustly the rods of power is not well ruled.
Unhappy Medea, what haven, what sanctuary? Where will you wander?
This man, this barking dog, this gulled fool, gods of my father's country, you saw me low on my knees before that great dog of Corinth, humbled, holding my heart in my hands for a dog to bite. Break this dog's teeth! Women, it is a bitter thing to be a woman. A woman is weak for warfare. She must use cunning. Men boast their battles. I tell you this, and we know it. It is easier to stand in battle 3 times in the front line in the stabbing fury than to bear one child. And a woman, they say, can do no good, but in childbirth it may be so. She can do evil. She can do evil. I wept before that tall dog. I wept my tears before him. I degraded my knees to him. I gulled and flattered him, oh triple fool. He's given me all that I needed, a little time, a space of time. Death is dearer to me than what I am now. And if today, by sunset, the world has not turned, and turned sharp, too, then let your dog Creon send 2 or 3 slaves to kill me, and a cord to strangle me. I will stretch out my throat to it. But I have a bitter hope, women. I begin to see light through the dark wood, between the monstrous trunks of the trees at the end of the tangled forest, and I hold a pinpoint of light. I shall not die, perhaps, as a pigeon dies, nor like the innocent lamb that feels the hand on its head and looks up from the knife to the man's face and dies. No, like some yellow-eyed beast that has killed its hunters, let me lie down on the hounds' bodies and the broken spears. Now to strike them. What means to use? There are so many doors through which painful death may glide in and catch. Which one? Which one?
Tell me, do you know what guest is in Creon's house?
An Athenian ship came from the north last night. It is Aegis, the lord of Athens.
Aegis? My lady knows him. I believe he will help us. Some god has brought him here, some savior god.
He's leaving, I think, today.
My lady, Lord Aegis is here in Corinth, Creon's guest. If you will see him and speak him fairly, we have a refuge.
Many things in my hand to do, be quiet.
Oh, listen to me. You're driven out of Corinth. You must find shelter. Aegis of Athens is here.
Listen to me!
I held you in my arms when you were this long. I gave you milk from these breasts that are now dead leaves. I saw the little beautiful body straighten and grow tall. Oh, child, how can I not try to save you? Life is better than death.
Not now.
Time's running out.
I have time. Oh, I have time. It would be good to sit here 1,000 years and think of nothing but the deaths of 3 persons.
Oh, there's no hope then. Child, if you would do this red thing you dream of, all Corinth would pour against
After
you.
my enemies are punished and I've heard the last broken moan, Corinth. What's that? I'll sleep. I'll sleep well. I'm alone against all, and so weary that it is pitiful.
Look who is coming. I see sunlight glitter on Lanshill.
It's Jason, Medea's worst enemy, who should have been her dearest protector.
What business have you here, you women, clustered like buzzing bees around the hive door? Where's Medea?
There. Mourning for what you have done.
What she has done, not I. Not by my will, she and my sons are exiled.
Is there another dog here?
So, Medea, you have once more affronted and insulted the head of Corinth. This is not the first time I've seen what a fool anger is. You might have lived here happily, secure and honored. I hoped you would. By being just a little decently respectful toward those in power. Instead, you had to go mad with anger and talk yourself into exile. To me, it matters little what you say about me, but rulers are sensitive. Call yourself lucky, Medea, not to get worse than exile. In spite of all this, I have your interest at heart and am here to help you. Exile's a bitter business. I want to make some provision for you. I wish you no harm, although you hate me. And in particular, the children. My sons. Our sons. You might have been decent enough to have thought of our sons.
Did you consider them when you betrayed this house?
Certainly I considered them. It was my hope that they would grow up here. And I, having married power, could protect and favor them. And if perhaps after many years I become Dynast of Corinth, for that is Creon's desire to make me his heir, our sons would have been a king's sons. I hope to help them wherever they go, but now, of course, must look forward to younger children.
Oh, it's enough. Something might happen. It is likely that something might happen to the bride in the marriage.
I'll guard against it. But evidently Creon is right to be rid of you.
Go to the palace and seek for Aegis. There's no other hope.
Have you finished now? I thought I would let you speak on and spread out your shamelessness before these women, the way a Tyrian trader unrolls his rare fabrics. Do you like it, ladies? It is the dog's daughter's husband. It is a brave person. It has finally got up its courage with a guard of spears to come and look me in the face. Oh, Jason, how have you pulled me down to this hell of vile thoughts? I did not used to talk like a common woman. I loved you once, and I'm ashamed of it. But there are some things that ought to be remembered by you and me. That blue day when we drove through the Hellespont into Greek Sea, and the great shouldered heroes were singing at the oars, and those birds flying through the blown foam. That day was too fine, I suppose, for Creon's daughter's man to remember. But you might remember whether I cheated my father for you and tamed the fire-breathing, brazen-hoofed bulls, and whether I saved your life in the Field of the Teeth. And you might remember whether I poisoned the great serpent and got you the golden fleece and fled with you and killed my brother when he pursued us, making myself abominable in my own home. And then in yours, I got your enemy, Peleus, hacked to death by his own daughter's hands. Whatever these fine Corinthian friends of yours may say against my rapid and tricky wisdom, you it has served. You it has served well. Here are 5 times, if I've counted right and all's not counted, when your adventures would have been dusty death if I'd not saved you. But now, you think your adventures are over. You are safe and high-placed in Corinth, and will need me no more. 'Tis a bit of a dog, isn't it, women? It's well qualified to sleep with a dog's daughter. But for me, Jason, me, driven by the hairy snouts from the quadruped marriage bed, what refuge does your prudent kindness advise? The world is a little closed to me, by the things I have done for you.
I see, Medea. You have been a very careful merchant of benefits. You forget none. You keep a strict reckoning. But some little things that I, on my side, have done for you ought to be in the books, too. For example, I carried you out of the dirt and superstition of Asiatic Caucasus into the rational sunlight of Greece and the marble music of the Greek temples. Is that no benefit? I have brought you to meet the first minds of our time and to speak as an equal with the great heroes and rulers of cities. Is that no benefit? Here you are famous. Who would have spoken your name at your days run by on that last edge of the world? That life of blood and filth I saved you from, so that one day you may vent on me this vileness, this barbarian gratitude. And now, this grievous thing that you hate me for, that I married Creon's young daughter, little Creusa. Do you think I did it like a boy or a woman out of blind passion? No, I did it to achieve power here. And I'd have used that power to protect you and our sons. But no, your jealous madness has muddled everything. And finally, as to those acts of service you so loudly boast, whom do I thank for them? I thank divine Venus, the goddess who makes girls fall in love. You did them because you had to do them. Venus compelled you. I enjoyed her favor. A man dares things, you know. He makes his adventure in the cold eye of death. And if the gods care for him, they appoint an instrument to save him. If not, he dies. You were that instrument.
Here it is. The lowest, the obscene dregs, the slime and the loathing, the muddy bottom of a mouthed cup. When a scoundrel begins to invoke the gods. Oh, you had better go, Jason. Vulgarity is a contagious disease, and in a moment, what could I do but spit at you like a peasant or curse you like a drunken slave? You'd better take yourself back to little Creusa.
Medea, I came to help you and save you if possible.
Your help is not wanted. Go. Go.
I want to see my boys.
Go quickly.
Yours the regret, then.
This is it. I did not surely know it. Loathing is all. This flesh he has touched and fouled. These hands that wrought for him, these knees that ran his errands, this body that took his, what they called love and made children of it. If I could peel off the flesh, the children, the memory.
What is she doing, that woman? Staring like stone. Staring. Oh, she has moved now.
Annihilation. The word is pure music. Annihilation. To annihilate the past is not possible. But its fruits in the present can be nipped off. I might look in my son's eyes and see Jason's forever. Better to be clean bones on the shore, white bones on the black seashore. Oh, but that's far. Not yet. Corinth must howl first.
Peace and pity are departed. Hatred is here. Hatred is heavy, it clings to the earth. Love blows away. Hatred remains.
Women hate war, but men will wage it again. Women may hate their husbands and sons their fathers, but women will never hate their own children.
But as for me, I will do good to my husband. I will love my sons and daughters and adore the gods.
I should go into the house with a sharp knife to the man and his bride. Or if I could fire the room they sleep in and hear them wake in the white of the fire and howl to each other and howl like dogs and howl and die. But I might fail. I might be cut down first. The knife might turn in my hand or the fire not burn and my enemies could laugh at me. No. I have subtler means and more deadly cruel. I have my dark art that fools call witchcraft. Not for nothing have I worshipped the wild grey goddess that walks in the dark, the wise one, the terrible one, the sweet huntress, flower of the night, Hecate, in my house, at my hearth.
Lady, he was leaving Priam's door. He is coming. Aegis is coming. The power of Athens.
I will not see him. Go back and tell him so. Ancient goddess, to whom I and my people make the sacrifice of black lambs and black female hounds, Holy One, haunter of crossroads, Queen of night, Hecate, help me now to remember in my mind the use of the venomous fire, the magic song, and the sharp gem.
He is here, my lady. Athens is here.
Rejoice, Medea. There is no fairer greeting from friend to friend. Medea, hail and rejoice.
Rejoice. It may be so. It may be I shall rejoice before the sun sets.
Medea, what's happened to you?
Nothing. Nothing. I'm quite well. Fools trouble me. Where are you traveling from, Aegis?
From Delphi, where I went to consult the ancient oracle of Apollo.
Oh, Delphi. Did you get a good answer?
An obscure one. Some god or other has made me unable to beget a child. That is my trouble. But the oracle never gives plain responses. I tell you these things so that you might help me with the gods' meeting.
What did Apollo say to you?
That I must not unloose the hanging foot of the wineskin until I return to the hearth of my fathers.
The hanging foot of the wineskin. You've never had a child?
No. And it is bitterness.
But when misfortune comes, it is bitter to have children and watch their star-like faces grow dim to endure it.
When death comes, Medea, it is for a childless man utter despair, darkness, extinction. One's children are the life after death.
Do you feel it so? Do you feel it so? Then, if you had a dog-eyed enemy and needed absolute vengeance, you'd kill the man's children first. Unchild him, and then unlife him.
I do not care to think of such horrors. I have no complete enemy. What is it, Medea? What's the matter?
My love.
I would not have my children. Their father hurts them.
What do you mean, Jason? What has Jason done?
He has cast me off and married Creon's young daughter, and Creon this very day is driving us into black exile.
Do you mean you're driven out into exile?
Into homeless exile.
Why that?
Because our presence here is embarrassing to the young bride. Do you not think such men ought to be punished, Aegis?
Where will you go?
If there is any rightness on earth or in heaven, they will be punished.
Where will you go to, Medea?
What? To death, of course.
Oh, bewildered, sir, in the deep storm and ocean of grief. Or she would ask of you refuge in Athens.
Ah, so I should. Aegis, will you shelter me in Athens?
If you by your own means come to Athens, I will take care of you.
I could repay you for it. I know the remedies that make a dry stick flame into flower and fruit.
You'd cure my sterility.
I could do so. But I have certain enemies. If powerful enemies came baying for my blood, would you protect me?
Come the four ends of the world, they will not break in. You're safe there. I am your pledge.
Will you swear it, Aegis?
What? I promised.
I trust you. The oath is formal. Your cure depends on it. You swear by the fruitful earth and high-shining heaven to protect me in Athens against all men.
I swear, break
If you should break it, the earth will give you no bread but death, and the sky no light but darkness.
I will not break it.
You must repeat the words, Aegis.
If I break it, the earth will give me no bread but death, and the sky no light but darkness.
You have sworn. The gods have heard you.
When will you come to Athens?
To Athens? Why, if I come, if I live, it will be soon. The yokes on the necks of the horses. I have some things to do that men will talk of afterwards in hushed voices, while I and my children, safe in Athens, laugh. Is that it? Farewell, Aegis.
May the gods comfort you, Medea. Farewell, ladies of Corinth.
Fair be the gale behind you, sir, and the way ahead. What is she plotting in her deep mind? She is juggling with death and life like a juggler with a black ball and a white ball.
O God, protector of exiles, Lord of the holy skies, lead us to the high rock that Athena loves and the olive garland of Athens.
Athens is beautiful, as a lamp on a rock. The people of Athens, favored through the ages, walk with grace through the sparkling air, their souls nourished by knowledge and wisdom. How can such a people offer shelter to a woman so filled with hatred and murder?
How can one wish to die? How can that woman be drowned in sorrow and bewildered with hatred? For only to be alive and to see the light is beautiful.
Hush. As you say, what a marvelous privilege it is merely to be alive. And how foolish it would be to spend the one day of life that remains to me, at least in Corinth, this tag end of one day on tears and hatred. Rather, I should rejoice and sing and give gifts. They say gold will buy anything, even friendship, even love. At least in Greece. Among you civilized people, you reasonable and civilized Hellenes, I still have 2 or 3 of the treasures that I brought from home. Things of pure, precious gold, which a god gave to the kings, my ancestors. Is it late? It seems to me that the light darkens. Is it evening?
No, a cloud.
I hope for thunder. Let the sky rage, my gifts will shine the brighter. Listen, old woman. I want you to go to Jason and tell him I am sick of hating and weary of evil. I wish for peace. I wish to send precious gifts to that pale girl with the yellow hair whom he has married. Tell him to come and take them and to kiss his boys before we go into exile. Tell him to come speedily. Now go. Go and find him. Now go. Go. My past painting.
terrified. I do not know. I'm terrified. Pray to the gods, women, to keep evil birds from our hearts.
These are the gifts I am sending to the young bride. The God of the sun gave them to my father's father, and I have kept them in the deep chest for some high occasion, which has now come. I have great joy in giving these jewels to Creon's daughter. For the glory of life consists in being generous to one's friends and merciless to one's enemies. You know what a friend she's been to me. All Corinth knows. The slaves talk of it. The old stones in the walls have watched and laughed. See? It is almost alive. Gold is a living thing, such pure gold. But when her body has warmed it, how it will shine. It is intolerable to sit and wait. You sure he's coming? You sure?
He said he would.
Let him make haste, then.
Frightening, irrational things have happened lately. The face of nature is flawed with omens.
Yesterday evening, a slave came up to the harbor gate carrying a basket of new-caught fish. One of the fish took fire and burnt in the wet basket with a high flame. The thing was witnessed by many persons.
And a black leopard was seen gliding through the marketplace.
You haven't told me yet. Do you not think Creon's daughter will be glad of those gifts?
Oh, Medea, too much wealth is sometimes dreadful.
She'll be glad, however. She'll take them, she'll put them on, she'll wear them, she'll strut in them, she'll peacock in them. I see him coming now. The whole palace will admire. Stand aside from me, women, while I make my sick peace.
Well, I've come. I tell you plainly, not for your sake. The children. Your woman tells me you have your wits again and are willing to look beyond your own woes. It appears doubtful. Where are the boys? I've made inquiries. I can find fosterage for them in Epidaurus or any other of several cities that are Creon's friends. Now visit them from time to time and see that they're well kept.
You mean take them from me? Be careful, Jason. I am not patient yet. I am the one who labored in pain to bear them. I cannot smile while I lose them. But I'm learning. I am learning. No, Jason, I will not give up my little ones to the cold care of strangers. It would be far better for them to share my wandering ocean of beggary and bleak exile. They'll still be loved. And when the sky rages, I'll hold them warm against my heart. I love them, Jason. Only if you would keep them and care for them here in Corinth, I might consent.
Gladly, but they are exiled.
In your own house.
Gladly I do it, but you understand they are exiled as you are.
Innocent from my rebellion, that's black. Forgive me, Jason. As I do you. We've had too much wrath. And our acts are closing on us. On me, I mean. Retribution is from the gods, and it breaks our hearts. But you feel no guilt. You fear nothing. Nothing can touch you. It is wonderful to stand serene above the fates while earthlings wince. If it lasts, it does not always last. Do you love them, Jason?
Huh? Certainly. The children? Certainly, I am their father.
If anything happened to them, would you be grieved?
Nothing will happen to them, Medea, while in my care. Rest your mind on
You
it.
must pardon me. It is not always possible to be certain of that. If they were killed, and their blood ran on the floor of the house or down the deep earth, would you be grieved?
You have a sick mind. What a weak thing a woman is, always dreaming of evil.
Answer me!
Yes! After I'd cut their killer into red collops, I'd be grieved.
That is true. Vengeance makes grief bearable. And knowing that Creon's daughter, your wife, will no doubt breed many other boys. But if something should happen to Creon's daughter...
Enough, Medea, too much. Be silent.
I am to conclude that you love Creon's daughter more than your sons. They'll have to take the sad journey with me. Tell the boys to come out and bid their father farewell.
I could take them from you by force, Medea.
Come, Jason, let's be friends at last. I know you love them. If they could stay here in Corinth, I'd be content.
I asked it, he refused it.
You asked him to take my children from me. I'm quite patient now. I've learned. Oh, come, boys, come. Speak to your father. Oh, no. No. We're friends again. We're not angry anymore.
Big boys. Tall fellows. Why, you've grown up since I saw you.
Smile for him, children. Give him your hands.
I think he's afraid of your helmet, sir.
Come. My sons. No, my sons. Oh, we'll teach you to fear helmets. The enemy will run from yours when you grow up to size. I think in time you'll both be leaders of Corinth. You, my captain.
Don't give them to him, Medea. If you do, it will ache forever.
You have refuge. Take him there. Athens is beautiful.
Silent. Look at him. He loves them, huh? Therefore, his dear children are not going to that city, but to a darker city where no games are played, no music is heard. Watch and see. Watch this man, women. He is going to weep. I think he's going to weep blood, and quite soon, and much more than I have wept. Watch and keep silence. Jason, are the boys very dear to you? I think I'm satisfied that you love them.
He's two great heroes. God's hand, Medea. What is it? What's the matter?
Nothing. It is hard to let them go. This I have thought of. You will take them to Creon's daughter, your wife, and make them kneel to her and ask her to ask her father to let them stay here in Corinth. And I'll put gifts in their hands. People say that gifts will persuade even the gods. Is it well thought of? Will she listen to us?
Oh, yes, if I ask it. She'd deny me nothing. I think you're right. She can rule Creon.
Bring me those gold things. Dear ones, Brave little falcons, little pawns of my agony. Go ask that proud, breastless girl of her bitter charity whether she will let you nest here until your wings fledge, while far your mother flies the dark storm.
I'm sorry for you, Medea. Parting is hard.
I can bear it. And worse, too. Oh, don't touch the gold. Or it might tarnish.
Why, these are a king's treasures. You shouldn't, Medea. It's too much. Creon's house has gold enough of its own.
Oh, if she'll wear them, what should I want with woven golden vanities? Black is my wear. The woman ought to be very happy with such jewels and such a husband. Ah. Her sun is rising, mine going down. I hope to a red sunset. Gold is too heavy a burden for little hands. Carry them you until you come to the palace. Brave little trudging pilgrims from the black wave to the white desert. Take the stuff in. Be sure you lay it in her own hands. Come back and tell me what happens. Tell me what happens. Rejoice, women. The gifts are given, the bait is laid. The gods roll their great eyes over Creon's house and quietly smile. For no rat nor coney would creep into the open, undisguised traps that take the proud race of man. That robe of bright flowing gold, that bride veil, that fish nets to catch a young slender salmon. Not mute, she'll sing. Her delicate body writhes in the meshes. The golden wreath binds her bright head with light. She'll dance. She'll sing loudly. Oh, would I were there to hear it, that proud one howling. Oh, look. The sun's out again. Clouds have gone. All's gay and clear. I wish the deep earth would open and swallow us before I do what comes next. I wish all life would perish and the holy gods in high heaven die before my little ones come home to my hands.
It would be better for you, Medea, if the earth did open her jaws and take you down into darkness. But one thing you will not do, for you cannot. You will not hurt your own children. No blood-lapping beast of the field, she-bear, nor lioness, nor the lean wolf bitch hurts her own tender whelps.
How could that girl's death slake me?
I am sick with terror. I'll run to the palace. I'll warn them.
Will you? Go. Go if you will. God and my vengeful goddess are doing these things. You cannot prevent them, but you could easily fall into the same fire.
I am afraid to go.
You are wise. Anyone running between me and my justice will reap what no man wants.
Not justice, vengeance. You have suffered evil. You wish to inflict evil.
I do according to nature what I have to do.
I dreamed that someone gave good for evil, and the world was amazed.
A coward or a madman gives good for evil. Did you hear thin music? Like a girl screaming. Or did I perhaps imagine it? Hark! It is music.
Let me go, Medea. I'll be mute. I'll speak to no one. I cannot bear. Let me go to my house.
I will stay here and watch till the end. You'll be quiet, women. came to see how the barbarian woman endures betrayal. Watch, and you will know.
Hundredfold the harvest. The gleaners that followed their fatal crimes.
The demon comes through the locked door and strangles the child. See the whirlwind hanging from the black sky like a twisted rope, like an erect serpent. Its tail tears the earth. It is braided of dust and lightning. Who will fly in it? Let me hide myself from these night-shoring pillars and the dark door.
They should swim. Be quiet. I'm quite sure something has happened. Presently, someone will bring us news. Look, the children are coming.
They have bright things in their hands. Their faces are clear and joyous. Was all that fear a dream? A dream?
Rejoice, Medea! I bring good news. The princess graciously received your presents and smiled. It is peace between you. She has welcomed the little boys. They are safe from exile. At first, she looked angrily at them and turned away. Jason said, "Don't be angry at your friends. You ought to love those whom I love. Look what they have brought you, dear." And she looked and saw in the dark boxes the brilliant gold. She smiled then and marveled at it. And afterwards, she caressed the children. She even said that this little one's hair was like fine spun silk. And then Jason gave them these toys, and we came away.
Yes. If this were all, old man, I'd have your bony loins beaten to a blood froth for the good news you bring.
Oh, but lady...
There's more, however. It will soon come. Oh, take them away from me. I cannot bear.
Children,
I cannot bear.
come quickly.
If there is any mercy or forbearance in heaven, let it reach down to touch that dark mind and save it from what it dreams.
What has happened? What horror drives you? A spear's hunting behind you.
Flee for your life, Medea. I am Jason's man, but you were good to me while I was here in the house. Can you hear me? Escape, Medea!
I hear you. Your breath. Say quietly what you've seen.
My ears ring with the crying. My eyes are scalded. She put on the gold garments. Did you do it, Medea?
Speak quiet.
You're avenged. You are horribly avenged. It is too much. The gods will hate you.
It is my care. Did anyone die with her?
Creon.
Where is Pride now? Tell me all that you saw. Speak slowly.
He tried to save her. He died. Corinth is masterless. All's in amazed confusion and some are looting. But they'll avenge him. I'm going on. Someone is going to die.
Here comes my witness.
I've hobbled and run and fallen.
Catch your breath. Take your time. I want the whole tale. Every gesture and cry. I've labored for this.
Death is turned loose.
Please, nurse. I'm very happy. Go slowly. Tell me these things in order from the beginning. As when you used to dress me when I was little in my father's house. You used to say one thing at a time. One thing and then the next.
My eyes are blistered. Throat's like a dry straw. There was a long mirror on the wall. And when her eyes saw it, children had gone. She put her hands in the cases and took those gold things, and I watched, for I feared something might happen to her, but I never thought so horribly. She placed on her little head the bright golden wreath. She gathered the flowing gold robe round her white shoulders and slender flanks, and gazed at the golden girl in the metal mirror, going back and forth on tiptoe almost, and swung her leg from the hip to see the flexible gold molding the thigh. And suddenly, horror began.
You are not suffering. You saw it. You did not feel it. Speak plainly.
Her face went white. She staggered a few steps, bending over, and fell into the great throne chair. Then a serving woman began to call for water, thinking she'd fainted, but saw the foam start on her lips and the eyes rolling, and screamed instead. And some of them ran after Jason, others ran to fetch Creon, and that doomed girl, frightfully crying, started up from the chair she ran. She was like a torch, and the golden crown like a comet streamed fire. She tore at it, but it clung to her head. The golden cloak was white-hot, flaying the flesh from the living bones. Blood mixed with fire ran down. She fell. She burned on the floor, writhing. Then Creon came and flung himself on her, hoping to choke that rage of flame, but it ran through him. His own agony made him forget his daughters. The fire stuck to the flesh, and it glued him to her. He tried to stand up. He tore her body and his own. The burned flesh broke in lumps from the bones. No, I have no more. I finished. They lie there, eyeless, disfaced, untouchable. Middens of smoking flesh, laced with molten gold. No, I've no more. I finished. Have mercy.
Had they died when you came away?
No. The harsh tides of breath still whistle in their black mouths. No one could touch them. Jason stood in their smoke, unable, helpless. No one could touch them. You have told good news well. I reward you. As for those people, they will soon die. Their woes are over too soon. Mine are not. Jason's are not. My little falcons. Oh, listen to me. Laugh and be glad we have accomplished it. Our enemies were great and powerful. They were full of cold pride. They ruled all this country. They are down in the ashes, howling in the ashes, in their own ashes. No one has ever injured me, but suffered more than I had suffered. Therefore, this final sacrifice I intended glares in my eyes like a lion on a ridge. We still hate, you know, a person nearer than these. More vile, more contemptible. Oh, I cannot. If it were my hands, I would cut him off. For my eyes, I would gouge him out, but not you. That was madness. So Jason will be able to say, I've lost much, but not all. I have children. My sons are well. That, too, is unbearable. I want him crushed,
Scrawling. I have no choice. You there! You thought me soft and submissive like a common woman who takes a blow and cries a little and wipes her face and runs about the housework loving her master. I am not such a woman.
Awake, Medea. Awake from the evil dream. Catch up your children and flee. Farther than Athens, farther than Thrace or Spain. Flee to the world's end. Fire and death have done your bidding. Are you not fed full of evil? Is it not enough?
No. Loathing is endless. Hate is a bottomless cup. I will pour and pour. Children! Oh, my little ones. What was I dreaming? My babes. My own. Never shall my own babes be hurt. Not if every war hound and spear slave in headless Corinth were on the track. And... oh, look. Their sweet lips are trembling. Look, women, the little mouths. I frightened them with those wild words. They stood and faced me. They never flinched. Look at their proud young eyes. My eaglets. My golden ones. Oh. Sweet small faces. Like the pale wild roses that bloom where the cliff breaks toward the brilliant sea. The delicate form and color. Dear, dear fragrance of your sweet breath.
Oh, my lady, make haste. Take them, flee away from here. Someone will come soon. Oh, listen to me. All Corinth is in confusion and headless anarchy, unkinged and amazed around that horror you made. Therefore they linger, yet in a moment its avengers come.
I have a sword in the house. I can defend you. Would you say this child has Jason's eyes? They are his cubs. They have his blood. As long as they live, I shall be mixed with him. Children. It is evening. See? Evening has come. Come, little ones, into the house. Evening brings all things home. It brings the bird to the bough and the lamb to the fold and the child to the mother. We must not think too much. People go mad if they think too much.
No. 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 No.
What has happened? A crowd of horrors.
There's no hope in heaven or earth. It is done. It was destined when she was born. Now, it is done.
Who is coming? Someone is running at us. The accursed man, Jason.
He has a sword.
I am more afraid of the clinging contagion of his misfortunes. A man the gods are destroying.
Where is that murderess? Here in the house, or has she fled? She'll have to hide in the heavy metal darkness and caves of the earth. And there I'll crawl and find her. Are you struck dumb? Are you shielding her? Where is Medea?
You caused these things. She was faithful to you, and you broke faith. Horror is here.
Uncaused. There was no reason. Tell me at least whether she took my sons with her. Creon's men would kill them for what she has done. I'd rather save them than punish her. Help me in this. So, she has killed herself? Good, she never lacked courage. I'll take my sons to the far ends of the earth and never speak of these things again. Is she lying in there? Honorable at least in her death, I might have known it. Well, answer me!
Death is there. Death is here. But you are both blind and deaf. How can I tell you?
But the children are well.
I do not know whether Medea lives or is dead.
Open! Open the door! Open, open, open! I am alone. Help me. Help me to break the bolt. Go! 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 Find help!
What feeble night bird overcome by misfortune beats at my door? Can this be that great adventurer, the famous lord of the seas and delight of women, the heir of rich Corinth, this crying drunkard on the dark doorstep? Yet you've not had enough. You've come to drink the last bitter drops. I'll pour them for you.
What is that stain on your hand?
The wine I was pouring for you spilled on my hand. Dear were the little grapes that were crushed to make it. Dear were the vineyards.
I came to kill you, Medea. Like a caught beast, like a crawling viper. Give me my sons, that I may save them from Creon's men. I'll go quietly away.
They're sleeping. Perhaps I will let you look at them. You cannot have them. But the hour is late. You ought to go home to that high-born bride. The night has fallen. Surely she longs for you. Surely her flesh is not crusted black, nor her mouth a horror. She's very young, but surely she will be fruitful. Your sword, you want? There it is. No, not that step, the next lower.
I'll kill you first, and then I'll find my sons.
You must be careful, Jason. Do you see these two fire snakes that guard this door, one on each side, here and here, two serpents? Their throats are swollen with poison, their eyes are burning coals, and their tongues are fire. They are coiled, ready to strike. If you come near them, they'll make you what Creon is. But stand there very quietly. I'll let you look at your sons. Open the doors, that he may see them.
knew it before I saw it. I knew. No wild beast would have done it.
I have done it because I loathed you more than I loved them.
I should have killed you the day I saw you.
I tore my own heart and laughed. I was tearing yours.
Will you laugh while I strangle you?
Laugh. I would still be joyful to know that every bone of your life is broken. You are left hopeless, friendless, mateless, childless, avoided by gods and men, unclean with awful excess of grief, childless.
It does not matter now who lives or who dies.
Go down to your ship, Argo, and weep beside it. That rotting hulk on the harbor beach, drawn dry as strand, never to be launched again. Even the weeds and barnacles on the warped keel are dead and stink. That's your last companion, and only hope. For some time, one of the rotting timbers will fall on your head and kill you. Meanwhile, sit there and mourn, remembering the infinite evil and the good that you made evil.
Give me my boys. The little pitiful violated bodies, that I may bury them in some kind place.
To you would betray even the little bodies, coin them for silver, sell them for power. No.
Let me touch their dear flesh. Let me touch their hair.
No. They are mine. They are going with me. The chariot is at the gate. You had love and betrayed it. Now, of all men, you are utterly the most miserable. As I, of women. But I, a woman, a foreigner, alone against you and the might of Corinth, have met you throat for throat, evil for evil, grief for grief. Now I go forth under the cold, clear eyes of heaven. Those weakness-despising stars. Not me they scorn.